Carl and Brother here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short. And it's reaction time. Hey, we're checking out a Tribunal track. It's Incarnadine. I think I've said that correctly.
I think
That's a
so.
single. And it's the opening track on their sophomore album in Penitence and Ruin. I can get the words out sometimes. They just stopped writing. But yes, this is their newest album, recently released as of the time of recording, back in like April, beginning of April. The second album. I am familiar with this band. I'm familiar with this band, but you reviewed this album, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I picked it up because we did the debut back in 2023, an album called The Weight of Remembrance. I think we actually
That's
reacted to a
it.
song by them as well then. And
Hmm.
I liked it a lot. I was a big fan of it. It's very gothic. It's gothic doomy kind of music.
That's it.
They kind of I remember I'm trying to think back now, but I remember they stood out at the time because they were like a two or a three piece, and one of the band members like played the cello, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then with this album, the band have like fleshed out, right? So there are more members in there, a five piece now. The cellist is now a much more
Hmm.
prominent vocalist within the band, and like and I liked it a lot. I listened to it. I gave it high marks on the website. I thought it backed up the first album really well and showed a really good evolution of that from it as well. So it's cool. It's cool. It's miserable, gloomy, but it's cool.
Yeah, we go back to January 2023. You were right, Tribunal Without Answer is the track that we did look at the time. Yeah, so it's not our first rodeo. But you know the problem is that generally is a consistent problem. I know it's a first world problem because hey, it's a good and a bad thing. Which is, hey, I know I've listened to this band, I know I listened to that album
Mm,
back then, but then you have to move on. And once the
yeah,
band's kind of out of earshot and not doing anything, you kind of just kind of forget about them. So, yeah, it'll be cool to check them out again. I like this sort of style of music. This is perfectly fine. I like doom. I like gothic
yeah.
doom. I like melancholic gothic doom. I like all that stuff. I like a cello.
I like
I
to be
like
sad.
yeah, I like music. So it all works for me. Let's do this in three, two, one, go. Hmm.
I dream of drowning in tides of guilt. The waves I sink beneath grow red with blood you spill. salvation. It calls me to my tomb.
Don't fade out. Come up with an ending, you cowards. The lazy person's way out, man.
You'll have 10 tracks on the album after this to do that with.
Yeah, holy shit, dude. I'll bet. Fucking hell. Like, I actually got a question to start this
Mhm.
off. I was talking about this for you. It's a question. What is it, right? What is it the gothic side of it that makes you like this? Because you aren't a Doom fan, and that is very doomy.
I mean, yeah, I suppose I like the fact that the harsh parts are you actually get quite close. Do you know what I kind of thought that of this band the first time? Wasn't necessarily with this album. I was like, oh, they're kind of like the Crawling with an orchestra. You know, like the vocalist wise, like the harsh vocals are quite harsh. You know, they're on the heavier side of doom and actually get quite
Yeah,
black, I think.
yeah.
So that appeals to me anyway.
Mm,
I do like a cello, you know, I like that. I like the
mm,
fact that there are some good riffs in it. I do like the gothic element to it. I don't
mm.
dislike all Doom. That's the thing.
No,
Like I
yeah,
always
I
put
know that.
bands
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Hemis down as like one of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
Like
what I mean is
like
like
across the...
from yeah, I mean, last thing I would want to do is speak for you, like in the sense that you
Mm.
dislike all too, but you often sort of say
I
that
dislike a lot of Doom.
slow, like this
Yeah.
slower, laborious style isn't necessarily what you like.
No, but I like contrast. That's the thing. Like
Hmm.
and like if the slow parts can be interesting and it does then come with a payoff or like at least go back and forward, yeah. And that's what you find. I think I find with this song, I find with a lot of the songs that they do, which is maybe the overall pace never I'm not saying the pace suddenly becomes frenetic, but because of
Hmm.
the going from maybe I don't know, a cello, more prominent keys, to then a section where it's harsh vocals, riffs, and drums, and then back and forth, that I feel like I'm getting like more from it. Like, whereas if it was just a single prominent style, you know, maybe with the odd shout here and there, I think, yeah, maybe I struggle a little bit more. It helps as well when there are other interesting components going on,
Yeah.
and again across the whole album, there are songs on it that lean one way, and then songs on it that are maybe like shorter and harsher and heavier all the way through. So
Hmm.
that then again helps because then I like, then I'm liking the band, yeah, I'm not liking just the song. So I'm like, oh, okay, I like what they're doing. In the slows, like in that song there,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to dislike even the slow parts in it because firstly, I like the melody. I do like
Hmm.
it. It's simple, it's easy, it's nice, and she's got a great voice.
That.
You know,
There it
you
is.
can't
Yeah.
really get away from that. And like, you know, like no matter what you say, even if I hated everything about this song, I would still be saying, what a voice she's got though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Uh, yeah, it's that to me is the thing. Well, there's a couple of things. So first of all, I just want to say I love that. But that is right up my street from so many different perspectives. To the point actually where if I was one criticism, it's like I didn't always love the blacking growls. Cause there's a lot of other really cool stuff going on, and that felt not basic, but it felt a bit ho hum compared to this soaring,
Yeah.
soaring female vocals that are downright I don't know why you want to describe. They're beyond exceptional, powerful, and fit the style of music that's being played, particularly with that old. Because you got a cello, obviously that's really really cool, but there's more than that. You got a keyboard melody, and you got this
Yep.
constant sense of almost play. Sometimes it's a bit playful, sometimes it's sinister. It's always there in some way or another, even with the heavier riffs and the more intense moments. It's there in the background, and that's really appealing. It gives this a uniquer taste because that laborious boom boom that's just doom and that is very recognizable and it's hard to innovate with that style
Yeah.
particularly when you've got then those black and death vocals because of course there are different variations of doom but that's just on the darker side of it so those extra elements her incredible range the instrument the cello the other instruments the stuff that gives it that gothic vibe like gothic doom isn't new do you know what I mean?
No, no.
Melancholic doom isn't new, but how they're doing it is fascinating to me. What's fascinating is that's the opening track on this album, I believe. Like
Yeah.
that's a really brave way to start it because that to me is you setting out to the listener, whoever picks up this album, on a 9-track album. This is a long, laborious, unique ideas, but you basically get a flavor of exactly what level of where this doom sits.
Yeah.
And can you handle that? Chances are many people go, nah, that's me out. That's cool to go, but all that slow boom, boom, no, not for me. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really, really great way to start because it doesn't trick anybody. It tells you exactly what you're getting. And it sounds amazing. It is a weird thing where I think it's so strong that the visuals do not add anything to it. Like at all. The visuals itself is cool. The video's fine to a
Mm.
degree. There's a couple of moments that I think are a little cheesy. But that's just me. But like I don't need it. Like that could have been a blank screen, and I think I would have still feel
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly the same about it. That is an incredible track.
Yeah,
And
weirdly, I preferred the video more when we were watching the whole band and like seeing them sing and everything like that, then the
It's
water
the
sort of
late
scene.
stuff. The late stuff.
Yeah,
That's what I thought was a bit, particularly the end, when they're kind of like torn clothes and looking a bit ragged. Was a bit
yeah.
like, what are we doing here?
Because I can't help but like think in my head when I see stuff like that, like a minute before they shot that, the producer or whatever's going get in the water, and they're going no, because freezing, man. Just get in there, oh fuck it, put a bit of mud on your face. Oh, you're having a laugh, and yeah,
Yeah, and also because he like even and there's a chance that but there's a point where I thought it looked like Dave had to do this a couple of times. They look cold and wet, and they're fucking done. Just get the shot done. But anyhow, it's a video. I mean, it's cool to have one, of course, for a track like this, particularly and stuff like that. But I don't think it matters in regards to. I think it's such an easy track to either love or hate. It's the most. It's the most. Do you like this? Do you like this style? You hear it. You've got 7 minutes to make up your mind. Because beginning and end, there's not like massive shift and variation style. It starts this way and it ends that way. If you listen to that and you're like, that was great, you carry on. Otherwise, you go, oh my god, I hated that. And the chances are nothing's going to change your mind. So that to me is so straightforward. I love that. For me, it's fucking their perfect level of Gothic Doom. Like in a modern day, doing not necessarily unique stuff, but having unique elements in it that makes it feel more. But makes it feel less ordinary. That's the word, less ordinary, you know?
yeah, yeah. It feels like I said, the band changed enough, I suppose. I wouldn't say the band changed a whole lot,
They
but they changed
evolved, from what I
enough.
gather.
Yeah, that's it. You know, they fleshed out, you know, a few extra members, more permanent members. You know, I think the lady on the female vocals sang on the first album too, but is more prominent here. You know, and she's clearly a talent, right? But I mean, there's a lot of talent in the band because everything seemed to work, even though her vocals are the standout sort of part of it. Because, and you know, I noticed while I'm watching the video, you know, that in some of the shots she's playing cello, and some of them she's standing at the mic playing the bass guitar,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
and some of them singing. I also know from remembering from reviewing the album that she painted the artwork for the album.
I
So, like, you
remember
know,
this.
it's one of those people that you like.
Serene Morn.
That's it,
Serene
yeah.
Morn.
You kind of admire and a little bit kind of like, oh, fuck you for having all that talent. That's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Very good, yeah.
But I also think like because if you were to stand up the male vocalists, like put them in separate rooms and say, right, you know, in terms of who's the stronger overall vocalist out of the female and the male, obviously the female. I think most people would say the female vocalist, but I think it works together. They do work together. You know what I mean? Not just because she's clean and he's harsh, but actually their tones and like it seems to be very, very well balanced.
It's a nice back and forth they've got going on throughout it. It would be lacking. It's like so just because the female vocals are so strong does not mean to underplay the quality of the male vocals either. It's an important component to it and help makes the track special. There we go. Incarnadine by Tribunal. We both love it. What do you reckon? You got any thoughts? Anything to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.